21st generation, Maharaja Rajaram Ji. Maharaja Rajaram was the follower and protector of his family traditions and the savior of the tendencies of jap, chanting name of God, tap, spiritual austerity, dan, charity, and dharma, virtue. His father Maharaja Jasram Ji had adopted Vanaprastha, third stage of Hindu life renunciation and detached living. According to the instruction of his revered Guru, he completely engaged himself in jap and tap. Although he lived in the palace, early morning bath in the holy Ganga, thereafter going through his daily routine of prayer to God and to Gurudev, and then keeping himself busy only in charity and religious activities became the integral part of his nature. When the responsibility of running the administration was shifted to the shoulders of Maharaja Rajaram, his preoccupation of Dharma became all absorbing. He kept an intimate contact with his subjects and paid attention to their needs and complaints, if any. Maharaja Rajaram regarded himself particularly fortunate to have the protection of the shade of his revered father and most respected Gurudev. Once an incident happened which earned him great heartfelt respect from his people. Once in the month of Falgun, March, April, on the auspicious occasion of Shiv Chaturdashi, 14th date of Hindu calendar, Maharaja Rajaram organized the Anushthan, preliminary rites of a great yagya, in which, in addition to the subordinate rulers, kings of distant regions were also invited. All the people of the kingdom were assisting their king in the implementation of the function. Tents and canopies were pitched before time on the bank of Ganga. All the facilities and conveniences of fooding and lodging etc. were provided for. Bhandaras, public dinner, were arranged for saints, sages and other religious persons. There was an immense zeal in the public on all sides. Food for the poor, hungry, and clothes for the naked, handicapped, and needy were being doled. On the exact day of Shiv Chaturdashi, King Rajaram and his queen took their seats at the Vedi altar, where their revered Guru Sakhanand was already present. All of a sudden, the sky was overcast with dark clouds, just as they were looking up. In no time, they became so dense that it began to appear dark even in the day. When driven by the waves of wind, the clouds struck against one another. There was a dreadful peal of lightning and immensely loud thunder, which rent the earth and the sky. A great possibility of a fierce hailstorm loomed large in the atmosphere. On the other hand, the golden crops of various foodstuffs were ready to be filled in the fields and granaries. The king was amazed to see the strange coincidence and crucial eventuality. He thought that if at that time there was a hailstorm, then all the crops of the farmers will be destroyed and turned into dust. The king, without losing a single moment, fell at the feet of his most respected Gurudev Sakhanand, and his eyes full of tears apprehended him the impending danger to the life and property of his people. He prayed, O Mahayogesh, O fountainhead of all knowledge, is this auspicious occasion going to turn into a complete destruction of my capital? Gurudev Sakhanand replied, O king, do not be so much agitated. The Guru Mantra which I had initiated for you can, with its power, protect you and all your subjects. Hence, why are you delaying? Start chanting the Guru Mantra and then observe the activity of the clouds. The king started chanting the Guru Mantra according to the instruction of the Gurudev. When he looked at the clouds attentively, he saw some strange commotion. All of a sudden, gusts of violent wind appeared. This pushed the hailing clouds towards the deserted sands of Ganga. All of them exhausted themselves in that uninhibited area without any substantial harm. The sky soon became clear as before, and the sun also began to shine brightly, removing all traces of darkness or cold. This strange phenomenon impressed the people so much that the entire congregation was beside itself with joy and shouts of Jai, victory, for the king, the queen, and their most respected Gurudev rent the sky. After this event, a strong feeling of spiritual awakening and renunciation raged in the heart of Maharaja Rajaram. A supernatural power shook his body, mind, and soul. The tapasya of his previous births was awakened and it came to the surface of consciousness. He said, "O God, woe betide me. The attachment towards the kingdom has so clouded my mind's eyes that the light of spiritual knowledge and renunciation has been altogether eclipsed. Who has ever made his name immortal through the kingdom of the descendants? Through the kingdom or the descendants? Death snatches away all this. Even then, I am caught in the quagmire of Maya, delusion, and more attachments. My ancestors have been renouncing their kingdoms, wealth, and property during their lifetimes. Only I am unfortunate to forget that glorious tradition." Thinking like this and muttering such words to himself, the king became very much agitated. Tears began to run down from his eyes. All of a sudden, Gurudev Sakhanand arrived just at that moment. The king fell straight in his feet and screamed, "O Gurudev, how did you hear the cry of my soul? I was absorbed in thinking of you and presenting my heartfelt afflictions to you." Gurudev replied, "O king, from the beginning of the universe, God himself has been under the control of his bhakts, devotees. One soul has an imperceptible connection with one another. Now let me know, what is it that you want?" "O Gurudev," the king said, "the running of administration of the kingdom is not at all conducive to the peace and tranquility of the soul. And one whose soul is not at peace, how can he achieve satisfaction in the world and the world beyond? That is why my mind has become altogether fed up and detached from this kingdom or wealth and property. I now want to adopt a life of vairagya, renunciation, with the grace of your holy feet." On hearing these words of the king, Mahayogesh, respected Guru Swami Sakhanand, was silent. For a moment, closing his eyes, he looked at the future destiny of his devotee through his yogic power and then spoke out in calm voice, "O king, I shall answer this question of yours after thinking over it for some time." Expressing his idea in this way, Gurudev Sakhanand went away from the palace. But the king was always deeply sunk into thoughts like these thereafter. He had only one goal before him all the 24 hours: to adopt the path of sannyas, renunciation. Sometime continuous thinking overshadows even the intellect and reasoning. The person begins to think what he has to do now. Why have I arrived into this world? Etc. etc. Human life is very precious. If it is squandered away only in enjoying the transient sensual happiness and glories of a royal state, then I would only go to the inferior worlds like hell. Our ancestors too, since the beginning of the universe, have been relinquishing the throne and going under the protecting guidance of Gurudev. In due course, with their yoga, tapasya, and grace of gurus, they have been attaining the supreme state of salvation. Once it happened that, in a month of Chaitra, April, on the occasion of the Parv, holy festival of Ram Navami, birthday of Lord Ram, all devotees were going to have Ganga Snan, bath, at Avantika Devi. The king also, after his bath and prayer, When he had respectfully served all the saints and sages their food, and then had his meal too, was sitting on the bank of Ganga in a calm meditational mood, along with his wife Somti. By chance, his father Sri Jasram Ji and mother Chaturmukhi also came there. Maharaja Rajaram Ji said respectfully, with folded hands, O mother and father, O God in person, you had performed a long and severe tapasya for me, as a result of which I could get my birth in your esteemed family. Very few fortunate persons get birth in great Raghukul family. Hence, I feel myself to be very lucky to be so favored by the Almighty. You are a great descendant of Barbujar clan. The sons of this family, the sons of this great family, are always brave, patient, and vowed to the service of their parents and gurus, teachers, and elders. They are always the custodians of moral values and model of modes of conduct. They are born on this earth for the preservation of dharma, virtue, and humanitarian sense of duties. Whenever the world is intolerably infested with sins and cruelty, great persons take birth in this family to ameliorate these conditions and to establish dharma, principle of humanity and duty. On hearing these words from his son, Sri Jasramji sat down quietly. After thinking for some time, he spoke, O son, you are very intelligent. I must congratulate you for your sharp understanding. Moreover, you are a great devotee of a most spiritually powerful Gurudev, and are always engaged in serving and obeying him and worshipping his holy feet, which are fountainheads of unbelievable supernatural powers. On receiving this encouragement from his revered father, King Rajaram fell on his feet and requested him earnestly to tell him the deep mystery of the supreme state of moksha, salvation, because the tradition of the family has been to work for the welfare of the masses, leading to the supreme blissful state of moksha. Jasramji thereupon said, O son, I will, in this context, remind you some instances of mass welfare. See, Eklavya offered the thumb of his right hand just on a word of his guru. Bhagwan Bhagwan Lord Ram relinquished the great kingdom of Ayodhya and went to the forest just to obey the wish of his father. He did not back out from his vow even when his father passed away. Just see, King Harishchandra only because of a word given to a beggar, gave away all his kingdom and proceeded on to Kashi. Shravan Kumar spent all his life in the service of his blind parents and ultimately died in the process. On hearing such inspiring words from his father, King Rajaram's mind was set at rest. With folded hands, he submitted, O revered father, I know all things in this world are perishable and the life is extremely short lived. In spite of so much strife, the soul wanders in the cycle of 84 lakhs of species of living beings. All the while, it pines for the attainment of things that are meaningless and only delusions. We secure certain things and then lose all. Hence, why not foster an ambition to relinquish all these perishable things for the sake of peace and tranquility of the mind and ultimate deliverance from all bonds, as well as attainment of this perfect and sole truth? On hearing the submission from his son, Jasramji gave an illustration. O son, there is a strange and dreadful country. Its king is very powerful, brave, and just. His minister also is equally powerful and brave. For getting into the court of the king, you have to win over the minister, because the latter does not allow anyone to see the monarch directly. This minister can be won over only by a clever maneuvering. It is useless to show any strength or dash to him. On hearing this, Maharaja Rajaram asked, O Pitashri, respected father, what is this country? Who is the king and who is the minister? I have never known this mystery. Jasramji replied, O son, this country is the state of salvation. On reaching there, the consciousness gets deliverance from the cycle of life and death. The king of this country is the soul, and the minister is mind. This mind is the chief executor of the efforts. Without controlling this mind, no one can get near the king, soul, or God. Only because of this unique position, the minister mind has become all in all, engulfing the entire world. Only after conquering it, one can conquer the world. It can be befriended only with proper dexterity, because it is speedier than even wind and more fleeting than even lightning. To befriend it, one has to relinquish the joy of the senses of sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell. Success can be achieved only through daily practice. That is why, in the beginning, mind should be set on renunciation and introspection. Even if it does not concentrate, go on practicing, encourage it from time to time and inspire through spiritual anecdotes. Engage it in chanting of Ram Nam, Lord's name, and bhajan, godly songs. Just as a baby is taught using persuasion, encouragement, or fear, in the same way, one can be successful in winning over this minister through a proper judgment. Then the way to face the king will automatically be cleared. In the end, the blissful experience of Atma Milan, the communion with the self, will itself work for the deliverance from the vicious circle of the net of worldly Maya delusion. Jasramji further said, O son, this is also a truth, that in families which are noble and virtuous by tradition, evil persons cannot take birth. On the other hand, in a notorious family, even one noble person is born. He takes all his family to Vaikuntha, the world without suffering, heaven, or salvation. For example, Vibhishan, Prahlad, and others. These noble persons had taken their dynasty, which was fast going down the abyss of ignominy, to Vaikuntha. Prahlad's son, Raja Velochan, by giving away all the three worlds in charity, had created a lot of trouble even for Vishnu Bhagwan, God. After this, Jasramji revealed, Look here, O son, my father Raja Shambhu was also very dharmshil and dharmatma, virtuous and faithful king. He was always engaged in devotion to God and service of his Gurudev. By providence, one day, his Guru, a great yogi and seer of past, present, and future, arrived at his palace. The king offered him pujan, worship, with great respect, washed his feet, and had charnamrit. He was so happy to have Gurudev's darshan, sight, as if he had got the kingdom of all the three worlds. The Guruji was seated on high platform in the garden after spreading tiger's skin and deer's skin. After this, the king said with folded hands, O master, please stay for some time in this garden so that all my children may get a chance to be in your service. This will bless all my family. Jasramji continued, Raja Shambhu, according to his daily routine, had a Ganga Snan bath every day. One day, on seeing him go towards Ganga, Gurudev asked him where he was going every day early in the morning. The king replied that he went on Ganga Snan. On hearing this reply, Gurudev said, O king, take my kamandal, wooden bowl, and khadau, wooden sandals also with you. After having had your bath, leave the kamandal and sandals in the Ganga and tell Gangaji that Trikaldarshi Yogi Maharaj has called you. On hearing these words from Gurudev, the king left for his Ganga Snan. After offering Shashtang prostrate pranam to him, on reaching the banks of Ganga, he respectfully offered Shashtang pranam to Mother Ganga. And after his Snan Dhyan, meditation, and worship, he spoke to Ganga, O great mother, O purifier of the entire world, O boat of Kalyug, means of crossing the sea of evils of the present sinful world. My revered Gurudev has sent his kamandal and khanaus from his feet and has called you to come with kamandal full of water. On hearing the invitation from the Yogiraj, Ganga stopped its flow and followed the king quietly. The king went ahead and the Ganga came after him. After offering the kamandal and khanaus to Gurudev, Gangaji returned. On seeing this unbelievable miracle of Gurudev, the king fell straight at his feet. Gurudev lifted him up and affectionately and said, O king, yogis have immeasurable power. Yogis' rank is much higher even than the mightiest of kings, who have always bowed down their heads before them. Remember, O king, Guru Gorakhnath, who filled the entire Ganga in his tumbi, bowl made of dried pumpkin like vegetable. As Providence would have it, while this miracle was going on, Maharaja Shambhu's father, King Mithilesh, also arrived there. On seeing the miracle, he offered Shashtang Pranam salutation at Gurudev's feet with folded hands, said, O Lord, kindly teach us something more for upliftment of our souls, so that we may also raise the standard of our spiritual cadre. You are a yogi seeking moksha, salvation, seer of the world, seer of the whole universe and almighty. Guru Maharaj said, O King Mithilesh, this Bhojkat-Darawar has been your capital from ancient times. Your Badbujar Gotra dynasty is itself one of the highest. Your dynasty has produced very powerful, wise and dharmatma, noble and virtuous kings, sacrificing even their lives for the sake of dharma, tenets of spiritual principles. Your entire dynasty has been a chain of saints. Kundanpuri Bhojkat-Darawar capital has been one of the ancient Tirths, holy places. Kings of countries far and near have come to sacrifice their all at this holy place. Damayanti had taken birth here, with endless powers, as daughter of King Bhimsigar and Rukmani, also with untold might as daughter of King Bhishmak. Damayanti had taken birth here with endless power as daughter of King Bhimsigar and Rukmani also with untold might as daughter of King Bhishmak. After the birth of Rukmani, this place assumed universal eminence in the three worlds. Great warriors joined her Swamvar, bride choosing ceremony, but went away when quished with heads hung low. Now tell me, O king, who can be more fortunate than you? After this, Guru Maharaj, continuing his discourse, said, Man has pran, life. That is why he is called a prani, living being. But more than pran, life, another thing is dearer to him. When he sleeps in the night and enjoys sweet sleep, he is not even conscious for his pran. His mind, intellect, sense of glory, worldly pleasures, etc., all become insignificant under the influence of this blissful sleep. As such, the pleasure of this is supermost in the worldly pleasures. Such a bliss is the blessing of Atma, Ishwar, God, or Guru's mercy. O king, there is a close resemblance between this blissful sleep and Yog Kriya, meditation process. On attaining control over the Swapna Shakti, power of dream, a man can achieve knowledge about all the three worlds. The power also relates to the knowledge of the past, present, and future. In the same way, when a yogi is making spiritual efforts to master yoga, he first controls nidra, sleep, so that he masters its supernatural powers. After that, he, through the yoga process, drinks the most enjoyable nectar of somras of yoga stage. All the things in the world are utterly insignificant in the presence of somras. I know, O king, you can drink that somras. That is why you have the privilege of the visits of so many sages at your palace, because all of them are tied with the bonds of yoga power. It is my Ashirvad, blessings, to you that this family tradition of yours may continue, so that your family may ever be blessed with the births of great men. Proceeding on with the discourse, Guru Maharaj said, "See, O King, Bhagwan, Lord, Sri Krishna had told Arjun that karma, action, is all important. He had advantages on both sides. If you want to be rich, you should give away your all in charity. If you want to attain deliverance from the cycle of life and death, then you should perform bhajan, devotional songs. Thus, O king, this yoga process and contemplation of God are the paths to salvation. And see, O king, he is the doer, he is the taskmaster. We pranis, living beings, are only media. He is the one who seeks blessings. He is the one who blesses. He is the dying one. He is the one causing death. On hearing such words of devotion from Gurudev, all the kings present were spellbound and fell at the feet of Yogiraj. The incessant tears falling from their eyes washed the feet of Gurudev. Raising his powerful arms in benediction to all present, and with enchanting words of blessings, Gurudev disappeared from their midst.